Welcome back to another episode of Northern Ruckus. It's TJ here with my boy Big Jimbo.
Big Jimbo in the cut, man.
Yes, sir. And we got a special guest today, my lifelong friend of mine, Michael Lampreia. Introduce yourself for a second, Mike.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Michael Lampreia. A little bit of an entrepreneur, real passionate about fitness, passionate about helping people get into fitness and helping people grow their business. Made a big change in my life when I was young and kind of lost. And so that's kind of what I do now. I do some public speaking, and I work with coaches to help elevate their game.
Okay. We'll get into that.
I like that.
We'll get into that for sure. What's your Instagram?
Michael_Lampreia.
Okay, everyone go check that out.
Go hit it up.
Because, yo, on your Instagram, I saw bare topless pics, fam. What are you on?
I'm on the thirst trap tip. You know what I'm saying? That's what gets the views online. You know, you got to show the
Fair
six
enough.
pack.
Second you got the six pack, you're like,
I was
sure,
like, let's go. Yeah, 100%. That's what we had to.
I feel like you don't do all that work to keep it a secret, right?
No, you trying to like show it off a little bit sometimes, you know? And especially if you're trying to like get seen, get a little bit of clout, like online, get some clients, like as
for your personal training.
for
that
my
makes
personal,
sense.
but it's like as like vain as it may sound, like that's what people are gonna pick up on. That's what people are gonna want to be around. Like that's who like how you gonna kind of gain like trust. Like your Instagram's somewhat of your like online resume, and it's like if you can't do it for yourself, like what makes other people think that you can do it with them or for them?
No, that's true. That's true. You ever think of starting an OnlyFans?
Man.
Yo,
Yeah, I'm just joking, bro.
He's fun. Don't worry about it. He's like that all the time.
no, I ain't gonna lie. I thought about starting a feet finder if all this didn't work out.
Nah, bro. Mike, I've been best friends with his brother since my whole life. So,
Yeah.
like, me and him are mad close. I can bust these jokes with him.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
that you're not taking it too offensive.
Nah, you cool.
I want to get some housekeeping done before we jump into the episode. If you guys are following us and rocking with us, can you please give us a like on Instagram, follow on Instagram and on YouTube? You guys are giving us the views, but we're not getting the followers, so people aren't tagging along. Like, if you look at our page, we're getting good views on all our posts on our YouTube and our episodes. We're getting about like 800, 900 views, episodes, listens an episode, but it's like it's not expanding because you guys aren't smashing that like button, giving us a 5-star rating on Spotify, and all that good stuff. So if you appreciate the work that we've been putting in, please we'd appreciate it if you did that for us.
Yeah. Be more interactive with us. It helps us grow, you know? The same way that you comment and get into arguments and all that stuff, just show your friends and say, hey, like follow this page. You know, there's always good content because we like to keep it interesting for you guys, you know?
Yeah, especially if you share with a friend. If you like our podcast, maybe one of your friends will like it. Just share it around. That's how we're trying to grow off of word of mouth. So, yeah. And then
Enough of that.
No, actually, I want to
More
get
of
into
that?
one more thing. Yeah. I don't know if you've seen, but we actually had a crazy viral post on Instagram.
Yeah, what's the numbers on it?
Bro, the numbers were looking stupid. Last time I checked, we were at like 100,000 views.
There you go.
Something like that. Bro,
Yeah.
Usain Bolt like that shit?
Yeah, he
Stop.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't see it anymore though, because like he liked it like at the very probably like first like 5,000.
Yeah.
He was in there early, but then
That's wild.
after so now if you search it, you can't even find his name. You have to be if you follow Usain Bolt, then search him, you'll see it.
It'll
But
pop
like, yo,
up.
it's sick.
Yeah.
It was a good
lit.
moment for us. It was from like 2 episodes with Philip where we were just talking ball. So
Yeah, and talking about world championships, I think that's why he was into it because like
it's
the
international,
deal.
bro.
Yeah,
The whole fucking chat or like the comment section was just bare people arguing with Americans saying Americans are
Yeah.
stupid, not realizing we're some Canadians, not
I
even talking
know.
about this shit.
But bro, as soon as I said, "Oh, Canada was invented in basketball," they were like, bro, everyone was on my head, international
Wow.
and Americans.
Yeah, so it was pretty much about like that sprinter that
Okay.
said that if you win the NBA championship, you're not a world champ. So that was the clip. Jimmy obviously took the position of if the Nuggets are the world champion because they are the best team in the world. What do you think about that? Just quick.
It's an interesting debate though, for
Yeah.
real, because sometimes like what happened wasn't it a couple years ago where Team USA got beat?
yeah.
You got beat this year in FIBA, but it's not
Every time it
Olympic.
happens, it's a big deal.
Right. So that's kind of a big deal because the NBA obviously gets looked at as like being on the biggest pedestal with like the most talent.
So that was
But-
pretty much. Oh my God! Continue.
No, but it's like so they're like pulling players from outside the U.S. as well.
Yeah.
And are you seeing players like in the NBA who are dominating the NBA who aren't necessarily American?
Exactly. That's
So-
like and that was the whole debate. It's like
Yeah.
America has all the players, but it's like we can't say they have all the talent because the whole world is so big. And people kept on coming with Jimmy at like, what's the N in NBA stand for? What's the N word, Jimmy? Jimmy, what's the N word? No, it was just a good
Facts.
moment. I just wanted to share with the pod. If you guys didn't realize how big it was going, it was
Yeah.
actually really. It was cool to see from behind the scenes for sure, showing that our hard work is paying off.
Yeah.
So what happens on the phone when that's going on? Is it just constant notifications, like just
if you
flying?
have it on, I don't
I
have,
don't
that
have my
shit on.
notifications
Yeah,
on. It's
yeah,
like-
that's too much.
That would, like even on a regular post would be too much, but like
Yeah.
nah, fuck.
I've
Every
seen
time
some-
you open your Instagram, though, it says like +9. You go over, it's like no matter what
Okay.
time of the day, at least 50 likes.
Yeah,
Like
and
minimum.
I've
It's
seen
like
people who have their notifications on.
just-
Yeah, it's
just
nonstop.
blinging.
Doing the most, doing the
Especially for
most.
likes, that's ridiculous. So, yeah, I can't keep up with that.
all right, so let's get into you, Michael.
Sure. What's up?
So you brought 2 little booklets. Can you talk
No,
to me a
they're not
bit about
little
them?
booklets. Those are big old booklets. Come
Yeah,
on
yeah,
now,
yeah.
dog. Don't downplay
Bro,
what you
I-
got going on like that.
Buddy, I could read those. That means they're little booklets, right?
No, fair play. And yo, they're kind of like, they're not that big because I didn't have, I'm not the greatest reader myself. So I wanted to make it like possible for people to actually enjoy
Yeah.
and like read it and like get something out of it. So it's called the Better Days Blueprint. And this is just like a little, it's a blueprint. And it's like what I followed for myself personally. Like when I was younger, I was a bit of a head case. I had a lot, I got into a lot of trouble. A lot of problems for myself happened because of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was addicted to a lot of things that were bad for my health. And it showed like in the results I was getting in my life. So when I was younger, I just started by going to the gym. I started by eating healthy. I started by like working on like these small little things. And like 10 years later, so just I'm like 31 now. I started getting myself together around 21. I started realizing like, yo, I can't live like this no more. Like I started taking something seriously, like try to make something of myself. You know what I'm saying? I was just acting like a bum, getting into nonsense. So I found health and fitness. And I knew nothing about it at that time. Like I wasn't a fit guy. Like I played sports growing up, played basketball, played baseball. But never.
You weren't good at basketball, though.
No, I wasn't
You
good.
played, brother.
I actually think I played against you.
Really?
Yeah. You. I was on the Northern Bantam team, so grade 9.
Yes, we did. 100%.
Yeah. I think I played against you one time. Because I remember everyone was like didn't want to go to your school. Everyone was like not feeling going to Eastern
Eastern,
Commerce.
yeah.
Yeah, they weren't trying to do it. So we went. But yeah, I think we played against each other. So I played 1 year basketball, but no, I wasn't good. You're right. It was like a charity. The coach liked me.
That's sick, though. That's sick.
So I played baseball. That I was good at. And I had opportunities in baseball, but I actually wasn't able to capitalize on them because I didn't get out of high school.
Yeah.
So I couldn't go play in the States. I couldn't do any of that cool stuff that like my little brothers have done and like a lot of my close friends have done because I was just acting out, like doing something the most. So
Yeah.
after a certain time, I was kind of fed up with this. Like I woke up one day and I was like, I just had like a come to Jesus moment, if that, if that makes any sense.
Do you remember like what was happening around that time that made you like snap out of it type shit?
Yeah, bro. I'll be honest with you. Like I was on a crazy bender. I was on like maybe a week-long bender of just like partying, like heavy into Toronto nightlife, like just doing like, you know what I'm saying? You can imagine up all night, hanging with maybe some unsavory characters, and get myself into trouble, like not sleeping, not doing anything, like not really doing anything for my health, not doing anything for my personal development, not trying to get better, not trying to make more money, like not trying to do like the right things. For the people around me. And so it was weighing heavily on my mental health. Like it was just like I was depressed, I was anxious, like I was just down bad. And so I like remember this moment, like getting home one night, super late night, like 5, 6 a.m. in the morning, and I'm just like sitting on the end of my bed. And I'm just like, bro, you can't do this no more. Like this is getting super out of hand. Like you're being irresponsible. You still got a family that loves you. You got good friends, but like you're just like you're not doing it right now. Like something's got to change. Like something's really got to change. And it was like it got to the point I was like literally sitting at the end of my bed. I'm like tears are dribbling down my eyes, like because I'm just like so like upset with myself and like the results that I put up and like where I was at in my life. And so there's a gym in my neighborhood. It was like a super cheap gym, kind of grungy, boxing gym. You know what I'm saying? Smelt bad, old weights, like old equipment.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
And yeah, and it was like $20 a month.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, I could front this, like $20 a month. Let's get this work. And so I just started going. Like I was watching YouTube videos. I was going to the gym. You know what I'm saying? And like after like 6 months, like I noticed a change in myself. Like not just physically. Like there was a little bit of a physical change, but like, my mental clarity was different. Like I wasn't even thinking about partying like that anymore. Like I was just like actually focused and starting to obsess about like leveling up and like making something on my life and like trying to do something.
Yeah, and not to cut you off, but I want to ask you that because, it seems like you definitely had an addictive personality, right?
Yeah.
Right? So would you say that now you kind of transformed your addiction into like more positive things?
Yo, absolutely. And that's the thing about addicts is like they're so powerful.
Yeah.
They just don't know how to channel it into the right thing.
100%.
Like you ever seen a crackhead not have crack?
Exactly. No, 100%. And even what you said with like the week-long bender, like, brother, most people don't have that in them to party that hard.
Right.
For that
like,
long.
yo,
Like,
you
most
are
of the average
trying to
person
do something. Like you're focused on it, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah, you're
like,
obsessed.
you're obsessed. And it's like, but if you can channel all that like into something positive, it's crazy what can happen. It's crazy the effects that you could have, and it's crazy like the impact that you could have on people around you as well.
Yeah.
So
I agree, man. I agree. It's crazy because I've been on a lot of that too, and especially with the title, "The Better Days Blueprint," really stood out to me because I was just going through a place where I was just. I've done the abuse thing more when I was younger, but then kind of I retired from music and I just had nothing going on, and I was just sitting around feeling very useless. And like you said, the depression starts to sit in, all this stuff starts to sit in. I just started to make better use of my time and get fit and all that type of stuff. Same thing you said, go to a dingy boxing gym, actually, funny enough. And it changed my life, and I feel so much better. I feel like on top of the world, really.
yeah.
To be honest, like the reason why I brought Mike on is because I remember hearing his story. I saw it on an Instagram post you had, because at that time we weren't obviously talking, me and you personally, but I'm always close to your bro. And I was talking to him about it. And that same time is when Jimmy started getting into boxing. And I'm like, you guys are mad. Like, you guys have the same path in a sense where it's like, it's not like you weren't like in the gutter like the same way he was, but like you guys both found something that just took your focus completely for the positive. Like, you know what I mean? Boxing for you, weightlifting for you, but it's like now you guys are both turning that into something. You know what I mean? It's like it's actually really cool to see, and it's like for a fat fuck like me, I kind of need like I like motivational stories like that. That's the shit that gets you in the gym, but then it's like staying in the gym is the hard part. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Building up that discipline and keeping that routine in place, right?
Routine's the biggest part because like again, I've always had spurts where I had like really good routines. Like before COVID, for example, I lost like 90 pounds in like 6 months, 7 months. But that was from like a hard grind. Like
it was hard.
I chose my work schedule. I made sure I worked at night. Every day I'd wake up at like 12 o'clock, go straight to the gym for 3 hours. I'll do like an hour cardio, hour lifting, and then just like stretching and shit. Come home, eat, go to work. And that was my day every single day, 7 days a week, no days off.
And just to speak to that, like, I don't know, Mike probably would be better at it, but I feel like that's what so many of us do, because all the times in the past, bro, that's what I did too. You burn yourself out.
I don't think it was a matter of burning myself out because I only stopped because of the lockdowns and shit.
But how long could you have kept that going? Up until today?
I think so. I loved it.
Then you would have been a beast.
But I loved
You'd
this.
be
Like
top 1% of the population.
It was like when I would go I would go do cardio for an hour. It's like that was like refreshing for me.
Yeah,
it's like that's the first thing I did in the morning. Like within like waking up, I was on the bike in less than an hour. Like I would literally roll out of bed, brush my teeth, go to the gym.
Yeah.
Like nothing else. I did nothing else when I woke up. Just go straight there. Because if I ever ended up doing something, like if I go on my phone or go on play Xbox or something, I'm gonna be like, I don't want to go.
100%. I know the
So
feeling.
it's literally roll out of bed, go straight to the gym, and it's like I wake up, I take like a caffeine pill and just go.
Yeah.
And it was actually really good. But like, again, it's
I know you miss it, bro.
I miss
know
it,
you do.
But every time I go back into the gym, I compare myself now
then.
to what it was then.
I
And it's just like
know.
it's demotivating as fuck.
Okay, so let me give you an example. 2 weeks ago, I ran 2 5Ks. And then in the 2 weeks since, I've been taking it easy on myself because I never ran 5K twice in 1 week before.
Like you did it like back to back, like in the same span of 7 days.
Yeah. Like I
fire.
did it on like a Monday, then like a Thursday or something like that, right?
Okay.
And then I'm still going to the track all the time, but I'm like, I'm not gonna keep going here and try to kill myself. So one day I did like sprints. Another day I did like 1.5. Another day I did 2. Another day I did like 1.5. You know. Today I go to the track this morning and I did 6K, and that's the most I ever ran at one time, you know? And it's like, bro, we have to take it easy on ourselves. I feel like sometimes we're too hard on ourselves. We always want to demand the greatness every day. And especially you see quotes about Mamba mentality and that type of stuff. It makes you like, I'm gonna go until I don't have no more. And when you do that, you don't have no more for the next day.
Yeah.
Make sure you have enough more for the next day so you could keep the grind going, you know?
Well, Mike, you're a coach. Give us your perspective on our two different opinions.
No, I mean there's validity to both, right? Like there's a time and a place where you got to be like, okay, we're locked in right now, we're going, right? Like we were trying to see rapid results, and that's like what you're at when you said you lost 90 pounds.
Yeah, 90 pounds in about 6 months.
That's crazy. Like you're grinding, like you need to intentionally focus to get that done. But then to Jimmy's point as well, and it's so popular on social media, and it's like this toxic like self-development. Like I'm a big fan of self-development. Like you need to work on yourself.
100%.
But yo, there's other areas to life, right? Like there's points where you got to enjoy who you are. And if you're just constantly focused on like, what you're not, is gonna bring negativity into you because you're gonna start focusing on that stuff as opposed to who you actually are and what you can bring to the table.
Of course, but like life is all about like even if we do it subconsciously, it's all about comparison, right? So it's like
I don't think so. I think comparison is actually the thief of all joy.
But
It
even
really is.
Even when you're comparing to yourself, though, like you always think that, even if you're trying to avoid it, it's the first thing that comes to mind, right?
I
So it's
do
like
see what you're saying.
So it's like for me, like at all aspects. Like I used to be able to like, I would squat 405 for reps. I can barely do 225 10 times. So I'll be benching like 315 at the top of my peak, and it's like I can barely do like 185 for 10 now. It's like that shit. Like no, it's demoralizing to go under the bar and be like, bro, this is lightweight. Why am I not moving it? Like,
it is, TJ, but I think you give yourself 2 months, you'll be right back. Your muscle memory will kick in.
Of course, but it's like
100%.
be back.
He doesn't give himself the chance.
Yeah, you gotta be patient with yourself. Give
yourself
yourself a little bit of grace, right? Like if you've been out of it for a certain amount of time, like you can't just expect to just do that same stuff again. That's incredibly strong. Like that's not easy at all,
numbers.
Bro. That's huge.
But it's like, that's what I'm like. It's like not just on that. So like even like for example, I would go on the bike and I'll do an hour. No matter what, I do an hour. But like I would average like 34, 35 kilometers in that hour. Now if I do it, I'm only doing 25. It's like every single thing is just significantly less. And when I leave the gym, I'm not feeling as accomplished, and the feeling of accomplishment is actually better than the feeling of working out, in my opinion.
I'll say this too. My boy put it to me like this, real good. We went running one time. This guy was fast as fuck, and I think he went for like 13 kilometers. Nah, he's in great shape. He went like 13-kilometer run, and he did it fast, you know? But then when we got back to the gym, I did like a 5K. I got back. He was there before me and shit, bro. This was like when I first started my running journey type shit, you know? And he was like, bro, my heart right now is probably beating as fast as your heart is. If it takes you 5K to get your heart beating like this, and it takes me 20K because I've been doing it for 2 years, what's the difference? Right? Like it's little things like that. You put it into perspective for yourself. Any way you can put it into perspective is just like, and another thing is too is, bro, we get so caught up with, I don't want to do it today because I know how I felt, you know, back then I was on top of the world. But if you keep doing that a little more for 2-3 weeks, I'm telling you, you'll be right back there, and
it's hard to get in it. And it's like once you get that one off day. Me
and him should go running together, no? We got to start going running.
I can't run.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Will just be
bike?
blown out.
We going bike?
I have to do like low contact, just like Stairmaster bike. That's the only. I don't
what's
like.
It called rowing?
No, I can do rowing sometimes. I do rowing with Ev, and like this guy makes us go hard for like 45 seconds quick, and then bro, that shit gets you tired. But like I can't, bro. If I run, I'll destroy my knees.
Fair enough.
Fat boy lifestyle.
Are you big on cardio or what?
Yeah.
What do you mean? He has a 6-pack, nigga.
Yeah. I'm not like huge on cardio, but there, like you got to do it. It's like one of those things you got to do, right? Because it's like your heart and it's your lungs at the end of the day. Like it might not have the hugest impact on like your how your body looks. Like it does for sure because you burn more calories.
Yeah.
So you got to do a little bit of cardio, but it's just good for your mindset. Like there's nothing like getting out of like a hard cardio session and like how those endorphins are feeling. Like no matter what, I can go for a crazy lift. I can go for like pushing mad weights. But if I'm like pushing myself on the treadmill or on the bike or even on the elliptical for like half an hour, 40 minutes, like the sweat that's dripping and the way I'm feeling after, I'm like literally feeling like I can like tackle the day. And what I would say to you though is don't compare yourself to like who you were then. Focus on who you can be in like 12 months. You can make almost any physical transformation in a 12-month period of time if you give yourself that patience.
You think I can go sub 200?
Like
no, your head weighs 50 pounds, bro. You would have to be. Your body would be.
Anything I want, bro. Like, what do you mean?
Nah.
Yo, you could make.
Be realistic.
You could. Well, if you lost 90 pounds in 6 months,
yeah,
that's huge. Like what I even say to like my biggest clients, I'll say you can lose 50 pounds a year. Like a pound a week is not unheard of.
No.
And if you do the math, it's actually kind of easy. You just got to be by the end of 7 days under a 3,500 calorie deficit. And so you just got to take off a couple calories every day and make sure you're a little more active than you were the week before. And within a year, you can lose 50 pounds. It's not really
I did 60 pounds last year.
You lost 60 pounds?
60, yeah.
Yeah,
I was a big guy. Like, not huge, but you know how it gets.
Yeah.
Once you start going over 200 and you're 6 foot, it's like, I'm wilding right now.
Bro, I was like 200 in like grade 7, fam. Haven't gone
back. I know, but that's what I'm saying. Right now, bro, if you go under 200, you look crazy. Bro, just get to like something that you like and then
like
lift
a
weights.
Kid in Africa, huh?
Yeah, with a big old head though. With a big, I swear, there's no way your head's going back to normal size. It's done. It's done for you, brother.
All right, so Mike, when you're personal training for people, like, are you like a full on like life coach in a sense? Like you're telling them like their day to day, like, come on, like stay motivated, don't do this, don't be slacking, make sure you're eating right.
Yeah, like to a certain extent, I like to incorporate all those things, right? Yeah. But like definitely the nutrition's a huge one, and definitely the fitness is a huge one. And then once you like really lock those things down, it's crazy how your like vibrations change. Like you can actually take that into your personal life or your professional life and see other things start to flourish. Like when you get in the best shape you've ever been in, like your relationships will be better. Like you'll be able to give more love to the people around you because you're actually showing that love to yourself. You'll be able to like, a lot of times when I'm working with clients and we go hard, we see crazy results in like 6 months, they end up getting a promotion at work, making an extra $50K a year. Like things just get better. Like they're more locked in. They're more focused on their purpose. Whereas like, you can get distracted by the day to day. Like, oh, I'm just gonna go, you know, it's Friday, like work was terrible this week, like all these things, right, come into play. My girlfriend's bothering me, or my wife, like all kinds of things, right, can distract us. But when you stay like locked in on your purpose and like what you want to see for yourself, it bleeds into other areas of your life. And so it almost happens naturally without even like needing the push of coaching. Like if you can stay on a couple of things, like that's what I'm good at. I can help people eat really good. When you're with me, like I'm a very motivating person. Like it's how I walk around, and it's like how I talk. And it's like you can't really act like a bitch. Like you feel like a bitch when you start complaining and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people know, like a lot of my clients know what I've gone through, and I told them like my story, like, and there's like they have a hard time trying to be like whining when they're in front of me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like this guy might not be the guy to whine to. Like,
No,
let's just get this work done.
I can definitely attest to that, because I remember my biggest thing that I always said when I was losing weight is the mental clarity you get, right? So it's like, especially because I was on a strict diet, it's like I was never hungry. So the amount of time you think about food in a day, I wasn't thinking about that. I was never tired. So it's like,
Can we hold on a second? I agree with everything you say, everything you just said.
Yeah.
But last time I said that to you, you called me gay.
What do you mean? No, I said mentally. You talk about like energies and like.
He just said your whole vibration
No,
changes.
he wasn't talking about like. He's talking about like the phone when it rings. You know.
Oh,
That's what he said. He's like, yo, more clients hit you up, you do better at work. That's exactly what he said.
all right, bro. All right.
No, it's like
This guy was getting at you for the frequencies.
Yeah, he called me gay about it.
Are you into crystals and shit?
I mean, I don't have no
I don't take it as
crystals.
far as the crystals,
I don't have
but
the
I'm saying,
crystals.
man.
You power your crystals in the ocean. You
I don't
told me
have
to
no
stop
crystals.
this.
I don't have no crystals and shit. But I for sure believe in frequencies and vibrations.
Or you're
100%.
talking about like Mercury is in retrograde and shit.
Never.
Yo.
See what I'm saying? See what he does?
This guy.
Just keep that energy from Mike too.
Yo.
I have to respect the guest. Come
Retrograde.
on.
Fair enough.
That's
Fair
crazy.
enough. What were you saying though?
No, I just like I can agree to that stuff. Like obviously, I know everybody knows that if you work out, if you're the more disciplined you are, the more clear headed everything else becomes. And it's like Jordan Peterson always talks about it. Like the most important thing to do is make your bed every morning, because that's just the first level of discipline in your day. You know that tomorrow night you're gonna make your bed dirty, but the fact that you took the time to make your bed today will set a discipline level for like everything else. You're just gonna keep stacking, a little more discipline here, a little more discipline there, to the point where like even if it's not the gym, but it's just life in general, you're more structured, you're more dedicated. You'll be able to get more things done.
I agree.
Building up those small wins.
Yeah. Do you have any cues? Like I know a lot of people like to do stuff off of cues. When I started my shit, it was like that too. Like if I'm gonna brush my teeth, I go do 50 push-ups. Like you said, you wake up, make the bed. Little shit like that, little cues. Like you have any of those?
Yeah, I mean, a couple like little ones. Like I like to wake up, just make sure I drink like a couple big glasses of water before I'm like getting into the coffees and I'm getting into work. I like to take a couple minutes for myself and just try to evaluate what I'm gonna try to get done in that day before I like dive into the emails and the Instagram and like the text messages. Working out's a staple for me. You know, a lot of people tell you like not to work out 7 days a week because it's probably too much, but I do it anyways. Like I'm in the gym 7 days a week. Even if I'm not killing myself on Saturday or Sunday, I need to just go through those motions.
Yeah,
like
just
I need
listen
to
to your
get that
body.
flow going
For your routine and
for
stuff
my
too.
routine. Yeah, like I can't
yeah.
get pulled out of that, because then I'm like I look at it almost like as a void. Now that's just a tool that I use to help me keep going and like stay on track. So those are like the big things for me. And like I try to listen to some motivational things every day to keep my mind clear. Maybe stay away from like the aggressive music first thing in the morning. But that's like pretty much it. Like I don't have like, I'm not one of those huge like morning routine persons. I just like to take a couple minutes for myself, get a little clarity, and then I try to get to work, try to get, get accomplished what we got to do
See,
for the
even
day.
with that, you say like I'm not one of those huge morning routine things. But bro, like what you just broke down to us, if everybody were to take a little bit time every morning to start their day with like that, I think so many of our societal issues like anxiety and depression and stuff like that will go down, because just that little bit of time to reset and focus on yourself. We're so bombarded with everyone else's thoughts and opinions.
Absolutely.
People kind of lose themselves. And it makes you get so frustrated. I'll see someone say something like they'll post a meme, and then I'll say like, oh, I don't agree with this part of it. And they'll get defensive. And they'll start defending it as if it was their own words. It's like, this is just a random meme you saw. It has nothing to do with you. And you're living your life by that and going out the rest of your day by that mantra. Like, come on now, you know?
Yeah, so like that actually goes perfectly into the question I want to ask you. I want to ask do you think mental illness in the sense of like anxiety and depression, not like schizo and all that stuff, do you think that's more of a mindset or more of an actual illness?
Listen, I think that
I got them speechless on the pod, fam.
Nah, he's
because
taking his time to answer properly.
because when you're in it, like you can't discredit what you're going through when you're in it, like when you're stuck at the bottom. You're like, because you'll tell yourself like, oh, I'm bad right now. Like this is taking over everything. But if you take a step outside of that and like look at yourself and you see what you're doing to like either get yourself out of it or keep yourself in it, you might be able to isolate what the actual problem is. So when I was in that down period, I was like, yeah, I got mental disabilities. Like I got mental issues. Like I was telling myself all these things, right? Trying to like reaffirm like that I'm stuck, right?
Yeah.
But what I learned and like in the process that I use for myself to get out of it is like, you just got to take yourself out of your body almost and look at what you're doing in your day to day. Like look at how you're acting. And a lot of time your actions are just reinforcing that. So it's like, if you think you're down bad and you tell yourself you're down bad and you do things to be down bad, like you're sleeping all the time, you're watching like, content that's making you feel negative about yourself, you're hanging out with negative people, that's just going to reinforce it. And then you're not going to be able to argue for the opposite.
Yeah.
Whereas if you are in a bad spot and you start building small habits, you start building small routines to get out of that, you can actually notice like you can correct some of these things, like, and not feel the same way. Like, because right now I could sit here and be like, no, like I don't have any, like, sure, I go through ups and downs in life, but I would never consider that like a
permanent state.
No, I would never consider that a permanent state. I would actually just consider that like life on the come up. Yeah, like there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be peaks and valleys. You're trying to do something for yourself. You're trying to do something in your life. Like nothing of any value has ever just fallen into my lap. And getting to this point in my life, I don't really expect it to. I know that it's going to take work and it's going to take effort. It's going to make me upset at times. I might get sad at times. I might get down. I might feel depression for a second. But it's like there's still work that's got to get done.
Yeah.
And on the other side of getting done, like on the other side of the plan that you make for yourself is usually the person that you want to be. And that's like what makes like reinforces our depression or anxiety is that you're either not where you're at or you don't see yourself getting to where you want to be.
Yeah.
That's
I heard
great.
a thing where it was like depression is fear of the past, or regret of the past, and anxiety is fear of the future.
Absolutely. And I think
And it's
that's
like
so
I feel
spot
like
on.
that is like that's what so much of like our today is, and so, like especially emphasized by social media and all that stuff, right?
So let me ask you a question. I could tell that you've been through a little bit of depression, anxiety, especially by your answer. You were very careful with it, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like, because you say you like to go 7 days a week, right? Let's say something throws you off your routine and you're not able to get into the gym 2-3 days. Do you start to feel that depression, anxiety sink back in?
Like
you feel like I gotta go run to get.
Yeah, I
to
wouldn't
shake this
call
shit
it like
up.
anxiety or depression, but it would be like I'm like something's got to change. Like we got to get the blood flowing. Like it's just like a super like comfortable space for me. Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna take a copy of this for sure.
I brought one for each of you. I brought one for each of you for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so like I didn't even know like what I was doing for myself then, but there was like a couple things like that I started to go through to help bring myself to like a more peaceful center and be like more prepared for like what's around me. And the first one was like simple, like just start eating right, drinking enough water, like focus on that. And then I got into fitness. And I started getting into like meditation, like learning how to just like, I'm not like a sophisticated meditator, but being able to like literally just sit with yourself and not need any like external like stimulation. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Like
Yo,
be okay with your thoughts.
But whenever I say this to him,
No, I still think it's a little gay. But have you seen that new trend on TikTok that's happening that these people are doing? It's like all these like Gen Z people. It's called like silent walks. It's like you go for 30-minute walks without your
the
phone.
fact that you got it off of TikTok,
Bro,
I don't know, man.
It's the funniest. No, like they be explaining it, and like, essentially what they're explaining is a walk. And it's like they say, like make sure you disconnect, leave your phone, no music, no podcast, no nothing, and just stay with
I'll say
your
this.
thoughts.
Sometimes,
I'm like, bro, how are you guys gonna try to reinvent walking?
Yeah. Sometimes that stuff seems a little absurd, but I will say that they're aiming their content at people who are mindlessly scrolling through TikTok and are addicted to it.
Yeah.
So they are gonna help some people who are slipping through that TikTok crack, right?
for sure.
I guess, but it's like, are you gonna put a name to something that literally people have done for the history of humanity?
No, yeah.
That's
it is-
Gen
it is
Z
kinda
for you.
messed up.
Yeah.
They're trying to reinvent the wheel on everything.
No, like when you say meditation, because this is the thing I always get at Jimmy at, because it's like meditating, energies, all that like whoopie doopie shit.
He doesn't let me explain. I'll just say that.
I want you to explain, what do you mean by meditating? Does that mean just like staying with your thoughts, or are you like doing like a mantra? Like what is it?
No, it's not a mantra thing, but it is essentially like staying with your thoughts. And for me, it'll be like trying to like control the thoughts. So I'll be sitting down, whatever I'm at. And it's not about like crossing your legs and having some like hand signals going on. even if you're just like sitting down, you close your eyes, you can put like a little bit of like soft, beats on in the background, but like focus on your breathing. Maybe just focus on your breathing. And then like, this is how it was taught to me, is you want to focus on your breathing and focus on the thoughts in between the breaths. Like try to acknowledge what's coming into your mind, like what's disrupting your peace, and see if you can get through 5 minutes without that. If you can do that, see if you can get through 10 minutes without that. If you can do that, see if you can get through 15 minutes without that. And then like, it's going to prevent you from feeling anxious about your problems. Like it's going to help you come to a center where you're like, okay, this is not the end of the world. Like I can deal with this. And like, I also have the capacity to like be alone with myself. Like in today's day and age, like you just said it perfectly. And the reason why these guys need these 30-minute walks without their phone is because that's like the new drug. Like social media is crazy. Like the attention span on people now, and I see it when I'm working with people, is insane. Like they can't go without their phone. Like they can't go without checking a notification. And it's like, it's rarely like important stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like it's rarely like it's a money coming in through the wire transfer. It's literally just, oh, someone sent me a message on Instagram. And it's like, that could wait. Like, you know what I'm
100%.
saying? And if you're just scrolling aimlessly before you go to bed, you're being bombarded with so many things that like you're running comparison. Like, oh, I don't have the Bugatti. I don't have a Rolex. Like, I don't live in the house I want to live in. I don't have a beautiful girlfriend. Like
I don't have a podcast.
I don't have a podcast.
Yeah, I don't have this. I
and
don't
it's
have
just
that.
like, it's hitting you with like a lot of things that like are just overwhelming your brain and just over and over again. And it's just like making you scattered. So what I found, and I've been there, like, and that's why I needed to work on that, because I wasn't having like peace of mind. Like I wasn't having clarity of thoughts. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't able to like articulate a thought. It was just like too much chaos going on.
Yeah.
And so if I can take 5 minutes, take 10 minutes, take 15 minutes to just sit down and just like breathe, it's like, it's kind of like clarifying what you got going on the inside.
Like I get all that. Like I see the value in it for
but
sure.
see, he's gonna do that no matter what. Because I had a completely different way of meditating. I'm gonna try that out. But he shoots it down no matter what.
No, I'm not shooting it down. I'm not shooting it down. But I'm just saying, like, I get the aspect of getting in your thoughts and thinking. But it's like, I don't necessarily understand why you have to like dedicate time to that. I guess like if you are too distracted, maybe it's hard. Maybe I have a problem with all this meditation and stuff because it seems like a regular thing to me. Like I can sit with my thoughts and literally have full conversations with myself about like an issue. For example, like,
but usually you get the issue off your phone.
No. Like I'll like, for example, like this is just the most recent one. If I'll be talking about like Israel and Palestine, I will sit in my thoughts for like an hour, just going back and forth on like, what do I actually think? Or then if I ever get stuck to a point, that's when I will call a friend. I wouldn't go online. I'll literally call a friend. Like you've been on the other end of the phone sometimes.
100%.
Where like I just have a random question. I'll call a friend, sit there for 2 hours and just talk about it. And it's like, yeah, that's not my thoughts, but it's my thoughts getting challenged. And it's like, it's not a matter of who's going to be right or wrong. I just want to bounce the idea around. And I feel like that's the same concept of how you guys explain meditation. But I also see that.
I'll say this. And I don't want to overstep Mike, because I know you might have a different interpretation of it. Sure. I feel like the meditation part of things is more going into your own thoughts.
Yeah.
So like, see like Israel and Palestine, that's one of those things that's completely out of our jurisdiction, out of our control. So you're putting a lot of effort and time and thought into something that's only going to bring you stress and pain and anxiety, as opposed to where if you take the time, because the way I meditate, what I told them was like, bro, I just sit there, I envision myself how I want to be, I imagine what that guy is doing, and I live my life that way. And it helps me become that person that I want to be, and I feel like that's another way that you could do it, right?
Absolutely.
So for me,
visualization.
Exactly. It's just visualization. And I don't take too much time doing it. Sometimes it's just when I feel myself losing sight of it, I'll take 10 minutes and just sit there and get back on my goal, right? And it's just like, bro, these are things more so for yourself. Like a lot of the stuff that you're talking about, like I could take time and think about these things, is you're taking time to think about things outside of yourself.
Exterior.
Yeah, you got to think about yourself sometimes.
But I 100% understand what you guys are saying. But again, I think a lot of the problems of today's society, with all this new stuff being distractions, like I'm not ever too, like it never affects my actual like well-being or feelings when it's talking about things that, again, like you said, are out of your control. But I think a huge problem with people that affects their day-to-day is thinking about their emotions and their feelings. And I feel like this, and I want to be justified like this. And it's like, that's how we have like the whole, like, obviously this is a huge jump, but like you have like the whole like gender thing is because people feel a type of way. And then now the way you feel internally, you want it to be expressed externally. And it's kind of from the same type of mentality. And it's like, I feel like people are too emphasized on how I'm feeling in this moment, how I'm feeling. Today I'm happy, tomorrow I'm sad. Like I never once in my life thought like that.
Yeah. I think you're not. I hear what you're saying, but I feel like you're kind of misinterpreting what I'm saying.
Misinterpreting it?
Yeah, because it has nothing to do with any sort of feelings. It's about a vision of your future, taking the time to see it, and then now you could go and manifest it into real life. Just like, okay, let's say if I take the time right now, and what do I want to eat? Okay, I want to eat a ham sandwich and I'm going to put da-da-da-da on it. Now when I get up, I don't have to go and search around the fridge. I don't have to go online to look for a recipe. I already know what I'm going to do and I'm going to go manifest it in 2 seconds. It's so much easier. I'm not going to get distracted along the way because I have the vision for myself.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
TJ, you think you're mentally strong already? Like you don't really need to.
Yeah, so Misha just asked if he thinks that I'm personally mentally strong, and I would say yes. Like to an extent. Obviously, I'm not perfect. I know. Like the number one example of the fact that like I'm not as mentally strong as I should be is the fact that I can't stay in a regular gym session, right? Like a regular gym schedule. But it's like if you want to ask me like, do I ever like have like a week span of being sad? It's like no. It's like if I catch myself being sad, I'd be like, "Why are you sad?"
I know you
and
mentally,
I do address it, and then I just move on. Like nothing can really hold me mentally down.
Yeah, your mental health is very healthy. You're very
it's
healthy
like again,
mentally.
I'm not perfect. Like I obviously can do better. I understand that. I don't think like crystals and fucking energy and,
No one said
this guy-
microwaves are gonna
This guy
fix
brought
that,
it back
you know?
to crystals. This guy brought it back to crystals.
Bro, vision boards and fucking manifestos.
I'll say it's like this too, bro. Sometimes when people preach healthy food to you, you're like, but I like burgers and shit like that. It's literally just like the fat in
that's
your
not
body
true.
craving fat, trans fat and stuff like that.
No, like
it's
when-
like sometimes, let me finish, let me land. It's just like, bro, some of these things that are good for us, they might seem gay in the moment, but like, bro, when you go and work out, right? If you go home and eat McDonald's, good luck working out the next day.
No,
Because your body's just going to say, nah, let's just chill.
No, trust
But
me,
if you go
I
home and eat
understand
salmon
that.
and salad, your body's going to be like, yeah, we're on the right page now.
Bro, trust me, I fully understand. Like, I understand all that, and it's like even when I was like what we were talking about before, when I lost all that weight, I was on a strict carnivore diet, where it's like all I ate was 6 eggs, 1 steak every day, no one meal, nothing else.
That's
So
all
it's
you
like,
ate?
Yeah, so I come back from the
He's a
gym.
crazy
like,
person. He could be the sickest one.
Yeah, so it's
He's
like
got, he's got this savage
Yeah,
mindset.
it's like,
built in.
when I flip the switch, so it's like I would eat at like I said, I would go to the gym when I wake up. I'll come home and I'll eat probably like 3-4 o'clock, and I work like at that time I would work till like 3 in the morning. So it's like I don't drink juice, don't drink pop, just only water for the rest of the day, nothing else. And it's like that's how I lost my weight so fast. I just literally had 1 steak, 6 eggs every single day, like clockwork. Never got hungry.
I think just exercise your mental
So it's like I
ability and
know,
show
like
us.
I know all the things that needs to go into it. Obviously, if you want to talk about like my mental stability or strength, I should say, not stability. My mental strength is like yes, I should be able to get back into that if it's quote unquote that easy for me.
Or what you want to do. Or
No,
if it's
it
what you
is.
want to
It
do.
obviously is what I want to do, but it's just like it isn't as easy as it is to me. But then again, like I'm not arguing that. But when you guys are talking about manifesting, I don't think you can manifest that shit.
Yes, you can.
No, you
Manifest
can't.
what?
Manifest. Oh, I'm gonna be dedicated this week. No, it's like that's like that's
Have
a
you
mentality.
tried? Hold on. Have you tried
Have I tried to sit down with my vision board and like?
your vision board? Have you tried to imagine whatever it is that you want to be?
Right.
Have you sat there and imagined what you want to be and
How you're
imagine?
gonna feel at that point?
Yeah.
Bro, I wish I was
Like,
6'7".
yo, you are
Can't
strong.
get there.
Like, you are mentally strong. I can attest to that for sure. I've had conversations with you where I'm like, yo, this guy won't budge.
Yeah.
But how would you feel if you actually got to the point where you saw it all the way through to the end? And you're like, I literally look at myself and I'm like, hanging. You wouldn't.
Like,
You don't
obviously,
think that
no,
would
of
make
course.
any difference?
No, 100%. Like that's obviously like what
I think
like, what
his
you always
ego might get
strive
out of
for.
hand. I don't even know. I don't want to see
What do you
TJ
mean?
at
I
that
have
point.
no ego, bro.
Your ego is crazy. Crazy ego.
I just love life. I just like to enjoy the moment. I just
Let me
like
ask you a question off of that, Mike. When you were when you're saying 21, party scene, crazy guy like that, and then now are you 31?
31.
31, a decade later, and you're focused. You're, as he would call it, you know, gay with the crystals and all that type of shit. But what would you say you were more? When was your ego bigger, back then or now?
Back then,
That's cap, bro. Look at your Instagram.
I believe him. I believe him.
Look at your Instagram, bro.
That's confidence.
Well,
That's
yo,
confidence.
What's the
That's
difference between confidence and ego? If you're
well, yo,
both-
read my captions. Don't just look at the pictures.
Nah, just look at the pictures.
Read the captions.
I just be scrolling through
Read
the
the
pictures,
captions.
bro.
Read the captions, bro. Read the captions. Because the pictures get you in, but then you read it and you're like, yo, this guy's deep, bro. This guy's humble. Like, this guy's, you know, he's thinking about his thoughts. He's articulating what he's saying. And I get you. Like, yo, you're 100% right.
alarm.
The photos,
Just press stop.
the photos are super, you know, it's super thirst trappy. I get that for sure. But it's the kind of world we live in.
No, for sure.
It's kind
I'm
of
just
world we
fucking
live
with you.
in.
I'm not actually being serious.
No, I know. But back then, if you were to catch me, like, I'd be like, yo, I'm big dog. You're not fucking with me.
Nah,
like, you can't
definitely-
step to me.
Yeah,
like,
you were on that shit for
like,
sure.
and I was confrontational. I was willing. Like, I was ready to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, and so I was in that space. I was like, every Saturday night, we were prone to getting a big fight on King Street. And it's like, that happened many times. Like, so that was like way more like egotistical, way more toxic. I was like, you can't step to me, like all this kind of stuff, right? And it's like, yo, I'm a 21-year-old little kid. Like, someone steps to me, I can get my ass beat.
Yeah,
right now.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
I got a big dog, so I can lose. I can lose this. But I would go into everything like I was a little pit bull.
It's funny. This reminded me of a story, bro. One time, I was gonna go check my girl. She's like my homegirl. She's like, let's head back to Micah's place, a friend of ours. And I'm like, all right, let's go. And then the bouncer at the spot was like, yo, da da da. He said something to me. And this dude was big. He was like 6'2", like 240, And I was like, and I looked at him. I was like 140, like I was like 140 at the time, And I was on the Molly crazy. I was tweaking. And I looked at him like, yo, where the fuck you from, nigga? and he's like, I'm from Detroit. I was like, that's what the fuck I thought. So shut the fuck up, because you don't know who the fuck I am or where the fuck you are. And then he piped down, and I was like,
Yeah, right.
I swear on my life. I swear on my life. On my daughter's grave. He piped down. He's like, all right. And it's funny looking back. I'm like, yo, if this nigga didn't pipe down,
I was in trouble.
yeah, I was in real
I was
big
in
trouble.
trouble.
This guy Jimmy definitely just remembered it differently. The guy probably never played down. He's probably like, this guy's a fucking idiot. Just turned around.
Maybe that was one or the other. Yeah, shit. Sometimes, bro, when you're a young, wild kid, sometimes you think you got one up on someone, but really they just let you live. There's
Yeah.
another story like that with Nas and Tupac, where
Yeah.
Tupac was by himself, but you know how Tupac used to act, and then Nas is a real gangster. He's rolling around with 50 goons, like they're all ready, But Nas was trying to like on some let's squash the beef, East Coast West Coast shit with Tupac. Tupac was like, nah, you're a bitch, da 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 da. Made a big scene, and then Snoop Dogg was like, it's all right, cool, and then they walked off. And then Snoop Dogg was there, and Tupac was like, yeah, I told that bitch nigga about himself, and Snoop's like peeped the whole play. He's like, all right.
It's like, yeah, you think you're cool.
Yeah, you think, but our egos really, man, they don't really serve us much good. Like they do more damage than good. It could be your worst enemy when you're at your lowest, and it'll be your worst enemy when you're at your highest. It really serves you no purpose.
For sure.
And like, what led you into like to your lowest point? Like, what was going on? Who did you meet? What were the issues you were getting into?
Yo, I was hanging out with like some older people. Like,
Wait, let me ask you actually a question, because Mishu, it doesn't pick up on the mic. So Mishu asked, like, what got you to the lowest point where you were? Like, was it the people you were hanging out with or who you meet? Like, and yeah, continue.
yeah, I mean, like, so I was like 19, 20, and I got caught up with some older people. Like,
Don't say the gang name.
no, never, never. And they were doing their thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said at the beginning of the podcast, they were doing their thing. They're pretty heavy into the party life, maybe not living the most savory of lifestyles. And I was like being exposed to things that I had never seen, like coming from where I'm coming from. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nice cars, like nice condos, like beautiful women everywhere. Like I was being exposed to things that like a young boy kind of dreams about. And like, I kind of grew into those things like really fast. Like it was like, whoa, this is like crazy. Like I've never had pretty girls want me like this. Like I've never like been able to go to the club and like have it shut down like this. Like this is kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? You kind of buy into that.
Yeah.
And then
It feeds the ego.
yeah, 100%. And it's like, I wasn't doing anything crazy, to be honest. Like I really wasn't on that shit. I was just around. And it just kept snowballing though. Like I couldn't get out of it. Like I was too addicted to that.
To the lifestyle?
To the lifestyle. And then like a couple of these guys got in trouble, moved away out of the city. One of them like disappeared forever because it was like, that's what they were on. It was just like, this, I'm just here for now, but I could be gone at any second.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of stuck. Like I got robbed a couple times and I was like in a dirty place. I was just like, yo, is this like how you want to live? I was there like a year and a half later. I'm stuck by myself and I'm like trying to emulate the same thing in my own life, like by myself. And I'm just like, yo, like this is just so toxic. Like I was having like these crazy withdrawals. Like I was having like, bro, I need to go be destructive. And after
Wait, withdrawals from destruction?
nah, from like the use, bro. I was on some shit. Like I was using like Molly. I was on some other stuff. Like it was wild. And so it was like, that's the point where I'd be like every day I'm like turning up. Like I'm like turning up every single day. We're going out every night, like Mondays, Tuesdays. Who's going out on a Tuesday, bro?
What do you mean?
Maybe
I love
Tuesday, but
Macomb.
the Monday was a little wild.
Monday was wild.
When you were like 24, Tuesdays were probably like the night because you got the club
Yeah, Tuesdays.
going up.
They got and they got the cheap drinks on Tuesdays.
No, but I feel what you're saying. Like, yeah, just wilding. You're just doing the most.
Yeah, doing way too much, and I wasn't in a position to be able to do that. Like, and so it just like it brought me down real bad. I had some health implications because of it, and I just got to a point where I realized, like, bro, you're too young to do this. Like, this doesn't end good for you. Like, it was one of those things where it's like, bro, am I like gonna, I could die or I can get caught up and I can go to jail. And it was like, sometimes you have those realizations because you see people around you that happens to. Like, somebody died, somebody went to jail, and I'm just like, I'm looking up to these people. Like, they're my role models. Like, this is who I'm trying to become. And I was like, bro, this ain't gonna end well for me. Like, I'm not built like that. You know what I'm saying? I kind of had that realization. And so that is what brought me to the point where I'm like, this gym's $20. Like, I can afford $20 a month at this point. Like, let's see what's good. And I was like watching YouTube videos, trying to be like, these YouTube bodybuilders.
So at rock bottom, in your opinion, who was around at that time for you? Like family, friends?
That's great. I wanted to ask the same thing. Was there anyone that's been here the whole time?
Yeah, like I had some homies. Like the thing is, like I always had like a couple good homies, but in this period of time, like they were good homies that were able to actually go to university, and they went to schools outside of the Toronto. So it was like one of those things where I was like trying to like substitute my close friends with like anything that I could like get a hold of.
Yeah,
like
whoever's fun tonight type.
yeah, like one of my top homies went to school in Montreal.
Yeah.
The other one went to school in Vancouver. One of them on a baseball scholarship, one of them on like just some genius tips, like graduated top of his class in McGill. And they've been my homies since I was like 12 years old. We'd always been close. And then they left, and I'm just like twiddling my thumbs like a high school dropout. Like, what am I gonna do with myself?
See everybody being successful.
Yeah.
Moving their life on. You're
Yeah,
not,
exactly.
right?
I'm just like stuck right here. I'm like, what am I doing with myself? Everything's just like, like not
Passing.
moving. Yeah.
Passing you by.
Exactly. And I was in that state. And then I'm able to come across these people who are older than me who like seemingly on the surface look like they got a lot going on. Like they're
They have
living
it
really
figured out.
good. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, they're rocking with me. I'm down. I got nothing else to do. Like, and so that's kind of how that started.
So your friends, the ones that left, when you were down bad, did you ever feel like you were able to just reach out to them and just like, talk about it?
Yeah. And I did, but like the addict's mind is toxic because you can talk and you can lie a lot. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like you can make like you can make fabrications, and it's like you can have a conversation about one thing, like, yo, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, knowing the homeboy's like on the other side of the country, and he's like, he doesn't really know, like he's just believing you on your word, and then I can turn around once that phone call is done, and we can go to the strip club.
Yeah.
You know?
So what about your family? Like, was there anyone around you saying like, oh, you got to fix up, or was it all just like self improvement? Like, not to get too personal, but like
for
the
sure.
home life type stuff.
Like the home life, it's like I have like this type of personality that makes people like not really want to tell me anything. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
he's like that.
Where it's
yeah.
like,
Whoa.
my
I'm modest as fuck.
my
right?
family
but
was
no one
always
can tell you nothing.
like my family was always supportive, but they were like they wouldn't want to like try to step on my toes because like I'd be prone to snap.
Yeah, out loud.
I'm like, you don't know what
Explosive
fuck is going
temper.
on with me. Like, what the fuck? Who are you to tell me shit? Like, I'd be going off.
Yeah.
And so, like, my little brothers, I love them. We're all real close now, and they've always been supportive through everything. Same thing with my mom. Same thing with my pops. Like, I can't say anything bad, but it's not like they were like, you're not the one to talk to, bro. Like, you're gonna do what you're gonna do. And that's kind of how it was through that.
Do you appreciate them for that though? Do you feel like if they would have been different and would have been on your case, that it would have been so much tension between you that you would have grown so far apart? Or do you feel like that would have been helped you fix up sooner?
It's hard to comment on which way it would have gone, but what I will say is when you're in that place, you are looking for something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Like someone to take you and
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
fix up.
Fix up. You can make it all right. Like you can, like this
it's
doesn't
also-
need to be it.
It's also hard for you because you're the oldest brother, right?
Yeah.
So it's like that's a brother's role to do or a dad, but it's like at that point your brothers are all like.
I remember
younger
your
and
pops
shit.
coming around telling us to clean the fuck up. Saying, it smells like ball juice in here. It smells like ball juice.
No, but like I get it, but I guess I want to ask you this then. Today, like now that you're doing better and everything, how many friends would you say you have?
Close homies?
whatever you consider friends. That's gonna be my second question. After.
Yeah. So I got my 3 little bros. I consider like their family, friends. We talk about almost everything. I don't really have much to hide from them.
Yeah.
And I probably got like 4 close homies.
Okay, Jimmy. What about you? Let me ask you too. How many friends do you think you have right now?
Well, I don't like to be the type of person if I haven't seen someone in a while that all of a sudden we're not friends. I would say like under 10, like 10 or under. Yeah, close friends.
I got a bunch of acquaintances. Like I'm cool with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I know a lot of people, but like people who I would like tell like details on my life that I would trust with certain things, like 4 or 5.
Yeah. So I guess that was my second question. I was gonna follow up with like, what do you consider? Like, what are the requirements to you of a friend? Like, what do you expect from a friend, and what do you give to a friend?
Loyalty and honesty.
That's all you expect?
Those are 2 biggest things for me. I don't really like there's peaks and valleys in life, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't judge somebody off necessarily where they're at right now. You don't know if you don't know what their situation is. Like I don't need everybody around me to be balling out, have tons of money. If you're going through a stage and we're loyal to each other, you've been loyal to me, we could trust each other, we could be honest with each other, I can still rock with you.
Mm-hmm.
If you have been disloyal to me, if I don't feel safe in your company, like if I'm having a night out, we drinking, we having a good time, we're partying, whatever, and like I don't trust I can be myself with you, then we probably not cool. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that. What about you, Jimmy? I know you're big on loyalty. That's always been your strongest.
Yeah, of course, and trying to be as loyal as you can. But like you said, none of us is perfect, right? There's gonna be times you fall out. But even with that, like, confront your homie or he confronts you, and then you work it out. I feel like that's a big thing too, especially having siblings. I've seen like, man, me and my siblings have been through crazy things. It's about how you get through those crazy things, right? So when you have close friends, it's a lot of like too. Sometimes me and TJ get into crazy arguments. That's my brother. If anyone tries to touch him, I'm gonna kill them. Like, So it's just like, I would say I try to be balanced. I try not to cut people off too much. It's very hard for me to cut people off. People have done me wrong before, and I can't really cut them off. I just give them their time and their space. Because like you said, you don't know what season someone's going through and why they're doing what they're doing, But for me, if it's someone who I know I have love for, I bring them around my family. My family sees this is a genuine person because my mom will always tell me quick.
Yeah.
I don't like this person.
For sure.
Like, or I like that person. Like, so it's the family vibe. And then I go around their family. I feel like if we've been around each other's families, like, yeah, that's a lifelong friend,
We good.
So do you guys feel like, I guess for both of you guys, do you feel like if you have a friend that you thought was like you guys were mad close, like let's say 2 years ago, but then like I guess he has shit going on in his life, you have shit going on in your life, you don't talk. Are you guys no longer friends at that point? Or is it like the love will always be there for the niggas that you're always loyal to type shit?
Yeah, I think that's probably more the case. Like as you get older, like you get busier, sometimes it's harder to stay connected with people. And as Jimmy just said, like everybody's got a different season, right? Like you actually never know what someone else is going through. Like everybody's got stresses, everybody's got problems. And sometimes like, I'm a big fan of isolation sometimes. Like, if you're in a spot in your life where it's like, I need to buckle up, I got to deal with some stuff. Like you might not be in a position to be social every week, like be chatty Cathy on the group chats and like participating in all this stuff. You might actually just need to go isolate yourself and get done what you got to get done. And it's like, who am I to judge somebody that's doing something that's in their best interest?
No, I feel that.
Yeah, you got to give your friends space sometimes. You see them going through that type of stuff. It's like, all right, I know that when we come back around, it's going to be the same way. So I'm not tripping. Like, I'm not a girl. I don't need that everyday reassurance. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like a girl will hit you up like, why aren't you talking to me?
No, but but you still also have friends that are like, once you stop talking to them, it's like, yo, why is this guy hitting me up now kind of thing. It's like, does he want something from me? Does he need something? Like, even if it was a close friend, that's always in the back of your mind. It's like, why now? You know what I mean? Why now are you texting me?
If I feel like if you have that feeling about someone, and then you have that 5-minute conversation with them, and then something comes up like, yo, I need this or that, your gut instinct was probably right. But for the most part, I usually don't feel like that, to be honest with you, bro. I usually don't really feel like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just an asshole and people don't call me for shit because they know how it'll go. But
they know the answer.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like for you personally, like I see you and my brother Tristan the same way in the sense that like you guys hit that level of like prime in your years where you're supposed to be like making the most friends. And it's like in that time, it's kind of like if you weren't the in group there, you guys aren't like actually friends then going on. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like
I know your brother. Your brother feels like that strong.
Yeah, you don't make new friends. It's
your brother is very much like that, but I'm not the same way. Like
you're
even
not as stubborn in a sense?
Yeah, in my list of 10, like my boxing coach is in there. Like,
okay.
Like me and him are super close. Like like that's my dog. Like like Yeah, he's like one of the closest
So
people
you
in
don't
my
agree
life.
with like the concept of no new friends, but you're
Nah, I don't. Especially because it's just like you never know who you're gonna run into, and it's
Yeah.
like my boxing coach is an old man. There's so much stuff that I've learned from him and stories he's told me that's like that story was from before I was even born. Like it's a little piece of knowledge I could take with me to improve my life.
Yeah, you never know what kind of wisdom you can run into by meeting new people.
yeah.
Like for sure, you got those, day one friends, but you got to go through the rest of your life like open to receiving more. You know what I'm saying? You can meet somebody at 30, you can meet somebody at 40, and they could, give you a world of wisdom.
Yeah, anyone could be a blessing.
Yeah, and it's like you seem like a pretty good judge of character, and like I would have said the same thing. Like if I can bring you on my family and my family feels good with you, like all my friends, you've been there.
Yeah.
Like I'll bring people around, and if we can't act the same way that we do together when my family's around, then we probably not locked in like that. But if I'll bring you around, like I'll know that we're good, and I could do that with almost anybody.
Yeah, I think my answer, like, you guys have like all these like stigmas, like loyalty and trust and all that. I feel like that's ingrained in friendship, no matter what, or else, like, again, like you wouldn't be my dog.
Yeah,
I think my
prerequisites.
judgment of friendship is which ones of my friends would feel uncomfortable giving my mom a hug. That can't be a real friend of mine. I'm being so serious.
Wait a
when I
minute,
say
what if
that.
he's Muslim and he doesn't touch women?
Bro, if you're Muslim, you're giving my mom a hug. Like, I don't care. Like, yo, bro, smart enough. Like, bro, Mishu, his bro literally would give my mom a hug when he saw her. It's the same thing. It's like,
I don't even know if I've
yes,
I've
you
given
did.
your
Yes,
mom a hug.
literally at my
but,
birthday
like,
this week. It's like, what are you talking about? And your mom came, and your mom gave my mom a hug. So
I
like,
see
what the
what
hell are
you're
you talking
saying.
about?
I see what you're saying.
Bro, like Nate, Michael, you seen it. Like when you go into Zach's games, like your little bro's games. Like I'm sitting there with your mom for those 2 hours. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's a
Yeah.
friend. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like the fact that like if you can't,
I don't want you hugging my mom.
I was gonna say like, yo, I don't know how I feel about this,
Big
Bro,
old
it's like
bear
I'm
hugger.
making
No,
moves
it's just
over
like-
here.
Yeah,
yo.
she won't be able to breathe, man.
It's like you're out here calling like our good friends, our brothers and stuff, and it's like that's like I feel like that's a sign of it. Like,
no,
you know what I
100%.
mean? It's
You
like-
see your homie's mom, you should be like, that's mom to you too. What's
Exactly.
up, mom?
That's
Like,
what I'm
you got any
saying. Like,
food
I
in the
feel
fridge?
that
Like,
should
you
be
know?
the standard.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
my
yeah.
standard. I shouldn't say that should be the standard. That's my standard.
Yeah.
And it's like if even if it's the first time you meet her, it's like you need to be able to feel comfortable enough. Because I'm the type of person that anyone who's my friend, I make feel comfortable regardless of like the scenario, right? Like I can be bullshitting with you, Mike, on some like the stupidest shit, but you're gonna laugh it off because you know I'm not serious. And I want everyone to feel comfortable around me. And like I feel like when I do that with my friends, it's very reciprocated, and to the point where it's like you should not feel awkward
Yeah.
to do the littlest gesture of respecting my mother when you see her, type shit.
Fair enough. All right, so let me do a hard segue into that because he's saying you got to be able to hug the mom dukes, right? How you feel about like
Wait,
when you-
we're talking about moms now?
No. I'm gonna
Like, we're rating them?
No, stop
out of
it.
10?
Yo, relax, son. Relax. Relax.
All right, let's keep it moving.
All right. I was saying though, before I was rudely interrupted, as far as like when you're dating a girl, right, and you're looking at her like, I want this to be the future, like mother to my children type shit. You got any things that you're looking for? Like, what's the prerequisites with that?
I might be the wrong person to ask on that based off the decisions I made, but
Oh, wow, you had terrible taste in women?
I had good taste in women. Nah, yo, it's like I've treated like some really good ones, not as good as they should have been treated, and I've treated some like not as good ones probably better than they should have been treated.
In your past?
Yeah.
But do you think that comes more so from when you, like you said earlier, when you don't love yourself properly, you can't
Yeah.
love the people around you properly, right?
Yeah.
So you think that's something that you've kind of like rectified in your life?
Yeah, like I know what I'm looking for now. I know what I'm looking for now, and if I see that again, like I'll act correctly. But a big thing for me is like I don't know, like how can we spend time together? Like, do I feel like I need to impress you, or do I feel like we good? Like just I'm chilling in a sweatsuit, or even I'm chilling in a dirty sweatsuit. Like I don't even have a nice one on. You know what I mean?
On road?
On road thing.
Oh.
No, I'm playing. I'm not bringing her on road.
God, Jimmy was disgusted, right? You're not taking him on a first date.
Yeah, like how you interact with my family, how the vibes are when you're around my mom, my brothers. My brothers are a big tell. Like they could see right away, like, oh, this might not be a good one for Mikey right here.
Yeah.
Or if this one is a good one. Like my mom also knows too, and she'll be the first one to tell me. She said some wild stuff to me
Yeah.
a couple months ago about this like one girl who was like, we were really locked in, but like I was going through some stuff and I just like, we kind of broke up. We did break up. I broke up with her. And it was just like, she was like, yo, she's stunning. I couldn't even, to this day, I couldn't even say something bad about her. Like she treated me so well. And I was just going through some mental things like, oh, is this what my life's going to be like? Do I want to be with her forever? And I was going back and forth. And my mom even said some stuff to me like a couple months ago. She's like, yeah, you really fucked that one up, didn't you? She's like, yo, she went in on me. She was like, yo, she was good for you. Like, she like, you know, accepted your bullshit. Like, she was pretty. Like, you know, it was like everything looked good. But you just like, I don't know what you were thinking.
Yeah, what were you thinking?
I was on a madness. I was like, yo, I'm gonna be with one woman for the rest of my life. But like, yo, to that same, like, I was making very bad decisions. Like, I quit my job. I had a pretty good job. I quit it and I broke up with her on like the same day. I'm like, yo, I'm starting fresh right
wildin'. You're not both on the same day.
Yo, that was a bad meditation session, man. Your crystals were not
now. My crystals weren't aligned, bro. And so I did it like literally both on the same day. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna start like this new chapter in my life. Like, I'm gonna, you know, start running businesses and like, you know.
Do you feel that comes back down to you having that extreme personality and making extreme decisions?
Yeah,
on
like
the spot?
going too crazy. And I didn't, yo, I'll tell you right now, like 5 years removed, like I didn't think that went through properly. But that
was 5 years ago? You're talking about that was last week. It's on his mind.
It's stuck. Well, when you brought it up, I'm like, yo, because I've only had like a couple like relationships that were like what you would be considered like serious. And you know, one of them like was that one, and it was like everything was literally good. Like we never even got in fights. Like it was, you know, like there was no problems. And then the second one, it was just like there was like some issues. Like it wasn't great. You know what I mean? It wasn't great.
So what do you do? Like what Jimmy was asking about before? Like what are you looking for in a girl then? I guess like what would be the girl that's like not gonna make you second guess? Damn, I'm gonna have to spend my life with her. Yeah,
I mean, yo, I like a girl who is like, I don't know. I like a sense of humor. I like a little bit of like I like a girl who can like have a like an open mind, but like someone who also like questions things. Not like questions me, but like questions like doesn't just accept like what's going on.
Like narrative. Like no, I know you. You're the same as Jimmy and me. Like in the sense of like mainstream media in a sense is just all bullshit. I don't want you to just accept that. Let's at least talk about it.
Have a conversation about it. Yeah,
and I feel like having that conversation with your girl sometimes it helps because she's gonna come at you from her point of view. Yeah. You're telling her your point of view. Yeah. And it's gonna be that back and forth where you're kind of figuring out, okay, this is what could work. And even if I've had conversations with girls before where it's a beautiful conversation. At the end of it, we're like, yeah, that's exactly why we would never work. And that's fine too. Like, you know, it's good to be honest with people,
as long as you can figure that out, get to that before anybody gets like really hurt.
Yeah.
But the main thing is, being able to like have conversations, like be open about your actual like, you know, opinions on shit. Cause I don't know, it's like we all seem like we're in that same kind of boat of having some wild opinions about things that aren't necessarily accepted by like the mainstream group of people. Right?
I would say Jimmy has wild opinions. I have pretty based opinions. Just again, both of our opinions aren't accepted. My opinions are super.
Brother, your base opinions of me saying to manifest something and to visualize it is gay.
Bro, you're talking about energies and like crystals and fucking Mercury and retrograde. Like, come on down. Man. That's a little out there, brother. A little out there.
Yeah. Mikey, you have any advice? Mishu wants to ask, you have any advice for people in their early 20s, like especially men who are just out here chasing girls?
I would say like don't be chasing girls. I'd say focus on leveling yourself up. Like try to become the man that you want to be, and the right girl will find you. Like
or the right girls, man. When you're really doing your thing, a lot of girls fall.
If he doesn't believe in
no, that's not even what I was saying. I'm just saying we're talking about young 20-year-olds. Yeah, it's like, not when you're in your early 20s. I don't even think you should be looking for a wife. You should be looking for the best version of yourself. Yeah. And date some girls so you know what you like and what you don't like.
100%. Like, yo, it's a time in your life where you don't like need to be tied to anything. Like, you don't need to be overly committed to like a person right now, unless you're like, you know, I'm a big believer in like trying to find a purpose for yourself. Like trying to find something that you could dive into and like give your all to with like all the energy that you have and try to build something out of that. And it's hard to do that if you're like constantly distracted every weekend or every night even. You're swiping on Tinder, you're swiping on Bumble, trying to find someone to bang. Like that in and of itself takes a lot of energy. Like, and like then you're like transferring that energy to other people where it's like if you like buckle down and you lock in on something, you can actually create like such a fire version of yourself. You're going to be building your character. You're going to be building your mindset that like you're actually going to now start attracting like what you want towards you. Whereas like before you're trying to chase, like I'm never trying to chase anything in life. Because if you're chasing something, bro, what that means right there is that it's running from you.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not trying to chase. I'd rather like be the guy who attracts it.
Yeah.
Right, and that goes for everything. That's not just relationships. Like that's professional. That's like personal. Like that's like, you want to like make a lot of money. Like you can't chase the money. You need to be the person who
It's valuable.
is valuable of that.
I hear like a lot of people saying this kind of stuff in the sense of like be the guy you want to be type shit. Like that kind of like messaging that like let's say like an Andrew Tate and those like male role models pass the message on. But then I want to say it's like at what point are you faking it type shit? Like you know what I mean? It's
like fake it till
there's
you
a
make
lot.
it?
There's not even fake it till you make it. Like there's a lot of guys that I know or like I know of that like
For sure.
have a persona that's not actually them.
Oh,
but then
okay.
it's like that's their business mindset. That's their when they talk to girls. But then when it's just them on their own, that's not them at all. Like you know what I mean? It's like at what point do you balance that, or do you think like
You got one
you
for
should
that
have a different mindset when you're stepping into those spaces?
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. There's a lot of people like that, especially in Toronto. Like everybody's trying to put on a front in this city when they don't actually have it going on. And at a certain point, yeah, you're right. You're like faking it. But what it comes down to is like who you are, like who your character is. Like I feel like character is the biggest thing. Like if you are that person in character, like the way I'm talking right now is how I'll talk. Like if we're in my garage,
Yeah.
if we're at the club, if we're like at the basketball court.
If there's 5 girls in the room with us, like it's
I'm the
thing.
same person, right?
Yeah.
And so if you can get to the point where like you're that comfortable in yourself, then you're fine. Like if you are just like if you are literally that person consistently, then you're doing all right. But those people who put something on for the cameras or for the facade or for the clout or for whatever it is, there's something probably inside of them that's like unsatisfied.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like they're actually doing it. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think it's a matter of unsatisfied. I think it's more of a line of like again, like these guys are, everybody's telling you, the internet's telling you, if you
Yeah.
act this way, these are the things you're gonna get. You're gonna get the bitches. You're gonna get the cars.
What I
you're
would say
gonna
to
get
that
the
is
shit.
like it's like if someone tells you like if you hear Kobe saying some shit about mentality
like
and stuff
we were
like that,
talking about
right?
before.
And then you see he likes to take all the shots on his team, and then you see someone who's never practiced saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna have that Kobe mentality. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna take all the shots." It's like first of all, he's talking about you have to work hard to be that person, so you can't cheat the work part. And work, I feel like sometimes people act like it's just this word. It's like no, work is actually like what people, the meaning of life. The meaning of life is work, bro. The meaning of life is to work. The things you work on and accomplish is what's going to get you anything done. Everything that you're not doing that's work, anything that's leisure is just a waste of time. Not to say that you should 100% of the time be doing that, but when people are telling you like there's a blueprint to have your day, I'm sure that there's production in there and work. It's not just oh, here's a blueprint that you could go sit on your couch and your day's gonna work out with itself for you. It's not like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you talk about people faking it and stuff like that, it's like, yeah, you could fake it all day, bro, but the results aren't gonna show, especially over time.
And that's exactly it. At some point, like you could do that, but at some point you will be exposed.
yeah,
Like it will show. Like your results won't add up to the chats that you're putting out there. And then you're just kind of left stuck. You know what I mean?
yeah. So when you're doing like your personal training and you're like you're a life coach, right? Too, right?
Yeah,
So
somewhat.
like, do you give like this type of advice to the people when they come to you, like that, like the amount of work you put in is the result you're gonna get out towards everything?
I mean, yeah, like that's like essentially what I like to talk about. Like the more you put into anything, the more likely you are to get something out of it. Like very rarely have I worked with somebody who did the 4 workouts a week, ate healthy, drank enough water, got to sleep on time, didn't go out get fucked up every weekend, who 6 months down the road didn't look completely different.
Yeah.
Like very rare has that ever happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
When someone calls you and is like, "Yo, I'm not gonna be. Hey, Mike, I'm not gonna be able to make it to training today." Are you saying, "Okay, whatever, that's on you," or is it like motivational
Yeah,
speech?
how do
type
you
shit?
react to that? That's a great one.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of people are afraid to hire motivational coaches because they're gonna have days like that, and they're afraid to get beat up
If
on.
I was like,
you
I'm not
know?
going to the gym today, and I open my phone to a 45-second voice note, I'll be jeez. I'll be like, do I want to open this right now?
I mean, it comes like you kind of read the situation. Like,
Yeah.
you know, life is hectic sometimes and things can pop up last minute.
Yeah.
But like for the most part, nah, we're coming into the gym today.
You're going to talk them into
Yeah,
it?
I'm gonna talk them into it. And most times I am able to talk them into it. Like, and you can even tell, like, once you start to get to know the people you work with, they'll like send you a feeler message like an hour or two before, be like, "Yo, we're on for tonight?"
Yeah.
Question mark. And I'll be like, "Yeah, I'm on my way there right now." You know, say something. You know, even if I'm not, I'll be like, "I'm on my way there right now." Like, don't leave me hanging.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of time it's not because they, you know, they can't do it. It's just like I might not be feeling it today.
And that's a part of that fitness and mental health journey. Is like you're gonna have days like that. And I'm telling you, bro, every day I go work out when I feel like that is the days I need it the most.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's the day you need
Bro,
to do the shit
100%.
the most, you know?
No, I feel that.
100%. 100%. When you're feeling stuck the most is the day you got to shake it up the most.
Yeah, and myself too. Like if like I said, like sometimes I get caught up. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. I don't have the time to go to the gym. Once 3 days passes and I haven't been doing a workout, as much as I'm on road moving around and stuff, it's like, nah, I'm not feeling like myself. I gotta go recharge in the gym. I gotta take 10 minutes just to figure out what I'm doing, what my goals are, and stuff like that. And it just helps, bro. It just really helps. It really does.
Absolutely.
So are you like sober now in a sense, or like do you still party like for birthdays or
Yeah,
stuff
like
that?
yo, like I'm at a point now where I'm not partying like that.
You're in control of
I'm
yourself.
completely in control, but like I'll go out, have some vodkas on Saturday night, and be fine with it. Like we were out on Saturday night, me and my brothers and the homies. We were out on Saturday night, and so we could do that. Like,
Do you feel regretful when you do though? Like, do you feel like, damn, this is gonna set me back like 3 days?
no, because I'm not hard on myself. I'll go to the gym the next day. I will not miss the gym.
This guy said he's not hard on himself, but he goes the next day, huh?
Cause I'll go. Like it's just a staple. That's like a non-negotiable. It's a non-negotiable.
That's the type of shit I want to be on. Like that's the shit I was on. Like where it's like doesn't matter what happens, even if I'm just gonna
That's
go to
the
the
shit
gym.
you're gonna be on.
Okay, see, I don't meditate though.
Let's turn that. Yo, somebody get this guy a crystal. He
If
needs one.
if Jimmy buys me a crystal, I'll meditate.
You actually might need one.
We have to
You
charge
need
in the
that's
ocean.
the crazy thing. We don't have them. You need one.
You have to
need
put it in the
one, bro.
ocean though, not Lake Ontario. That shit's polluted. I need some
yeah.
fresh water.
It's funny, bro. I follow this kid and he sells the crystals. He's hilarious. He's way too out there type shit.
Be
You know?
praying with the crystals on the video, like rubbing them down against his heart chakras.
He be dropping gems and then like 9 nonsense shits where I'm like, brother, I gotta decipher through this shit right now. He taking it too far. But yeah, no, for sure. Like getting your chakras, all that type of stuff right. It does help, man. It does.
Yeah. Yo, so Mike, are you taking on new clients or whatever, or like how can people reach out to you?
You can hit me up on Instagram. Send me a DM. I take select like clients. It's a little
What
more.
about
It's
if
a
we
little more
want to
niche
work
down.
out, you gonna take us for a workout?
Yeah, for sure. I got
think
you.
we should. We should
Yeah,
go to
we should go get
something,
it.
right?
For sure.
This guy's throwing that we word around a lot.
Yeah, you coming through.
That we word.
You coming through. Yeah, no, we should get
Where's
it
the
done for
gym?
sure.
No, 100%.
I know you have one in the garage.
I got one in the garage. Yo, if you guys want to come check my homies at Body by Chosen.
Yeah, we'll pull up. You
guys ever heard of that spot?
Yeah, we're bringing a camera too.
So that's also the gear I got on today. It's one of their clothing lines called LITMA. Stands for Less Talk, More Action.
I thought you
Hell
said
yeah,
Ligma.
hell yeah.
Yeah, it's like
LTMA stands for Less Talk, More Action.
You know
I
And
like
what
that. I
stands
like
for?
that.
what's that stand for?
like these nuts. Got him.
He's an idiot. He's an idiot.
Yo.
That's what I deal with.
He's done that to you before?
Yeah.
Bro, you crazy.
Yo, my bad. Promote your shit.
No, I was just gonna say, like, the homies there are super cool. Every Saturday we do a crazy workout. And there's a couple guys there, like the owner, Dwayne, Jason. They've been super good, like big homies, very supportive. And they're great coaches, right? So we go every Saturday morning, we have like a crazy hard workout. It's like open workout. And it's real jailhouse workouts.
It's not like CrossFit.
Yeah,
Nah,
calisthenics and shit.
Yeah, a lot of calisthenics, a little bit of weightlifting, but yeah, like I don't know. Last Saturday we did like 100 pull-ups, 100 push-ups.
See, why am I going? I'm
100
just wasting my
dips.
time.
Yeah, 100 pull-ups will take me a minute.
No, but we break it into sets of 10, and there's a bunch of people there. It's like all about the camaraderie. It's a very supportive group. I fuck with them a lot, and they about to blow up in the fitness scene. They probably gonna go worldwide.
What's
I think
their
they're pretty
Instagram?
big already. Like I've been heard about them.
Yeah. They pretty big already, but they about to go even bigger. Like they're gonna start opening up gyms in the States and shit. They about to really take it
what's
to
up.
another level.
They should open up one in Dubai. No cap.
What the hell are you
Like, no,
talking
if you see
about?
their brand and how they operate, like it's like they should have one in Beverly Hills. Like they should have one in the Hamptons. Like,
They
it's
got
like,
their Instagram models
Yeah,
on there.
it's perfect for the rich
That's why you're in
clientele.
there, huh? Now it's starting to make sense. See, look at this guy. Now
Like I said, we're pulling up with the camera,
Let's
man.
go. yeah.
Shout them out one more time.
Body by Chosen. The clothing line is LTMA. Less talk, more action.
Okay.
yeah.
Do you have any questions for us before we close this one out?
Nah, yo, I just want to say appreciate y'all for having me on.
yeah,
Thank
bro.
y'all for sure. I appreciate this.
Nah, bro, of course.
You're part of the
My
Northern
guy.
Ruckus family now, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna take this literature home and I'm gonna
Yeah, yeah.
digest this for sure.
Jim, you have anything else you want to ask him or get off his chest?
Nah, man. I think just one more time, just tell people like, you know, like everything that being healthy did for you. I feel like in our day and age, people clown on being healthy, and it's the weirdest thing. Everyone knows health is wealth, so you know, if you could elaborate on that.
Well, I don't know. I heard something great. Like, if you can get $1 million today, if I can give it to you today, would you take it? Yeah, for sure. But if you had to die tomorrow, would you still take it?
No, hell no.
Right. And so people don't look at their health that way. Like we're so stuck in this rat race, like, and it's the culture of like, yo, we got to make money, we got to level up, get promotions, whatever, build a big business, and you neglect yourself, right? The worst thing you want to be, and this is what I see with clients, like older men who are like CEOs, executives, got like great jobs, is they're like 45, 50 years old, 60 years old with a big old lot of money. They got all the toys, they got everything, but like you got diabetes, you got high cholesterol, your blood pressure going crazy. You ain't giving your wife the same love that she's
And
looking
and
for.
you don't think that she's with you for you anyway.
Yeah,
You think she's just with you for
yeah.
the money.
And it's
you start
like-
to hate yourself.
Bro, that'll bring so much more like value that it's like, it's almost priceless. Obviously, I have a great value on money. I think money is incredibly important. You know what I'm saying? I would never discredit what having money could do for you, but you still need your health. Like, you don't want to be that guy who's like struggling. You need your family to assist you when you're 60 years old. You're like, you can't do shit for yourself. Like, you want to be self-sustaining as long as you can be. So on top of the physical attributes that it'll bring, like the health that'll bring, what it does for your mental clarity is massive as well. And as I said, I've started working with people who within 6 months of just like pushing themselves, they got promotions at work, paid them 10x more money than they were making before. They went ahead and got the girl of their dreams. Like, things start happening when you start giving that energy back to yourself. So I would say it's like one of the most important things in this world. You hear it all the time. Like, if you don't have your health, you don't really have anything. So that's what I believe for myself, and that's what worked for me.
Bro, I appreciate you coming on.
No,
Thank
that's
you. I
amazing,
appreciate
man.
y'all
In
having
general,
me,
brother. Yeah, so that's been another episode of Northern Ruckus. Peace.
Peace.